Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 382 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. This week's episode is a dive into the interview I did with Shawn Goosenberg. Episodes 380 and 381 are filled with insight into college sports and getting recruited to an NCAA Division I program. I'm going to pull out some of the key points from the 2-part interview with Shawn. Go back and listen to those 2 episodes, episodes 380 and 381, to get Shawn's background, accolades, and current situation as a professional baseball player. First, here's some information about Recruit Me and the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is part of the Recruit Me education business. My name is Brent Hanks, and I am the owner and CEO of Recruit Me. Recruit Me's goal is to provide you, whether you are a potential student athlete or the parent of a potential student athlete, with as many free and inexpensive recruiting resources as possible. You can find the Athletic Scholarship Podcast on your favorite podcast app, and a new episode hits every Tuesday. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest-running recruiting education podcast. Other resources that Recruit Me provides are the free Recruiting Power Pack, which is available on the recruit-me.com website. You get a download with the first steps to an athletic scholarship, an audio file about how to use videos, and a free player profile template. Just sign up on the recruit-me.com homepage. Also, you can sign up for the free Recruit Me monthly newsletter that gives you monthly recruiting tips, advice, and links to last month's The Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes. The Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System gives you a 200-plus page manual and workbook to take you step-by-step through your personalized recruiting journey. You can get the Recruit Me 3.0 system for only $39. You will get the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship and much, much more. Step 1, select the right schools to contact. Step 2, write a great introductory email. Step 3, create your 1-page player profile. Step 4, build your own recruiting questionnaire. Step 5, track your communications. Step 6, send 1-page updates. And Step 7, make your school choice wisely. Go to recruit-me.com to get your recruiting plan today. Let's talk about 8 points that were brought out in this helpful interview. Number 1, Shawn used baseball to get a high-quality college education and experience. Number 2, how he got coaches on his recruiting team, and they sent emails and videos to colleges. Number 3, how his family didn't know when or how to start the recruiting process. Number 4, how he asked coaches to come to watch him play. Number 5, how time management was a key adjustment in college. Number 6, his advice to be ready for the physical play in college sports. Point 7 is to do research and see how you fit into programs as a freshman and throughout. And number 8, how his favorite memories in college are not necessarily from the baseball field. In point number 1, how Shawn used baseball to get into an upper education institution. Shawn, his family, and his high school and club coaches set up parameters of colleges that they would be interested in. Shawn targeted an academic match for him. He mentioned NCAA Division III schools that were among elite academic colleges, Ivy League colleges, and he said he contacted Duke, Stanford, and Georgetown, and some of the high-level academic colleges in California. A key to Shawn's and my son, Parker and Sutton, and many, many other student athletes I have worked with is creating a parameters list. The main point of this is not to have to get into a high academic school. It is to get into a school that fits you. Matching as many of your parameters, the size of the school, the distance from home, the cost, academic fit, playing level fit, coaching style, and other parameters will help you to create a list and research colleges that will most likely give you your best experience. As I have said in other episodes, there is not a perfect fit, but the more you choose schools that match your parameters and not other people's expectations, the better your choice will turn out. Remember, you need to recruit colleges to recruit you. Point number 2 from the interview is how he got his high school and club coaches involved to help in his recruitment. By having a discussion with his high school coach and his club coach, they became a part of his recruiting team. I don't know who initiated these conversations, but conversations can be vital in your recruiting journey. It is hard for a 14 or 15-year-old to approach a coach, but it is a must to at least ask your coaches and your parents for help. They may jump in, or they may not. You have to at least ask. A key for his high school coach's input was he told Shawn he thought Shawn could play in college after high school. Shawn said his high school coach had a lot of local connections, and his travel coach helped with many of his contacts with coaches nationwide. He stated that he and his travel coach created a target list, a list of schools that would take him his sophomore or junior year of high school, and then some reach schools. They started sending emails and videos, and not all the colleges responded. But they, Shawn and his travel coach, reached back to the ones that did respond. Parker, my son, didn't get much help from coaches, partially because we assumed that they would just step in. We weren't aggressive in asking for help and didn't understand what we needed to do. But luckily, we took it upon ourselves to make a list and contact coaches. Without Parker doing this process of making a list, researching, and contacting colleges, he would not have ended up at Northwestern. With Sutton, a sit-down with his club coaches really helped to get confirmation that he was looking at the right colleges and eventually got him to a good college fit. Interview point number 3 is how his family didn't know much about recruiting. Many times, a recruitment is the first and only time to go through the journey. Shawn got help on the when to start and the how to start questions early from his high school and travel coaches. His family helped to guide him along with his coaches. As I met and got to know Shawn's family, they were realistic in Shawn's skills, with high expectations, but humble about his abilities. I could tell playing in California gave them the competition to show off Shawn's skills and evaluate his skills. The number 4 point was that Shawn asked coaches to watch him play in tournaments. Shawn played on teams and against teams with high-level, college-bound players. He played in front of college coaches regularly, but by inviting coaches to see him, specifically, it made him stand out to those particular coaches. He said that by his travel coaches' connections, his emails to coaches, that he had a lot of college coaches watching him at a tournament in Arizona. Northwestern was one of them, and as the Northwestern coach watched him, they invited him to a visit to Northwestern, and then an offer was made. Shawn committed in about a month. Neither of my sons would have ended up at their college choices without the direct contact with the coaches at Northwestern or at Columbia College. There is no way that Northwestern finds Parker Hanks in Southwest Missouri among all the other left-handed pitchers in the country. Parker wasn't a highly rated pitcher in the state or the country. He was an all-conference, all-tournament team pitcher in the Midwest, but he fit a need for Northwestern. Sutton wasn't even a full-time starter for his high school team, but he has a very special and elite skill, his speed, and that fit a need at Columbia College. I'll say again, recruit colleges to recruit you. Point number 5 brings out how time management is a major adjustment as you enter college. I have a feeling that Shawn had very good time management as he entered college, and I assume that because of the colleges that he was considering. So I think it shows how important Shawn thinks time management is for a successful college experience. Here is what he said in the interview. Quote, "Time management is important, figuring out what your priorities are. I think there's enough room in a college day to have friends, go out and take care of your business. It really comes down to you planning ahead to get your work done. It's possible, so I wouldn't believe anyone who says that you are not going to have time for anything else besides baseball." Unquote. Time management is a skill that you can learn and hone. You can get started in high school and carry that skill over in college. Time management isn't the only adjustment. Shawn gives point number 6, and that is to be ready for the physical play of college sports. Shawn said he got advice to increase his strength when he was in high school, and it was a good start. But playing against players that were 22 or 23 years old was an adjustment. Shawn, like Parker, worked hard in high school, but it is hard to gain weight for many in high school. Keep working at it and keep developing those habits and carry that hard work into college. Shawn went from hitting 1 home run his freshman year in college to hitting 14 home runs his junior year. Parker entered Northwestern throwing 83 miles an hour and weighing 160 pounds, and left college throwing 88 to 91 miles an hour and was 190 pounds. I don't think you can enter college in any sport too strong. So get to work. Point number 7 is to research and see how you will fit into a program. As Shawn and I talked about in the interview, all 7 of the recruits in their class contributed their freshman year and throughout their college careers. Shawn advises you to really understand where you sit with a college program and with the coaching staff. Understand where you fit in. Ask what their plans are for you as a high school recruit. How they look at transfers, both from 2-year and 4-year schools. College coaches can't promise your future, but if you have a good relationship with them, they will have a plan. Shawn was told and was comfortable with the coaches telling him that he would have an opportunity to play an infield position and hit as he entered Northwestern. Shawn's situation changed as he entered the fall season with a shoulder injury, but his hitting at the start of the spring season kept him from a medical redshirt. Shawn's advice to recruits is to look at roster size, the number of players at your position. Look at previous year's recruits and how many are still there and how many left or got cut. Northwestern is unique in that they didn't carry the full 35 to 40 players, only 7 or 8 recruits per year. Parker was the only lefty pitcher in his class, and most of the left-handed pitchers were upperclassmen as Parker entered his freshman year. He played well and earned 40 innings his freshman year. Both Shawn and Parker's research and hard work translated into significant playing time. Shawn played 3 years and got drafted after his junior year. Parker played all 4 years at Northwestern. Sutton was told that his freshman year was mainly going to be courtesy running or pinch running, as the team had a lot of senior outfielders. That is exactly how his freshman year went, and he appeared in 23 of the 55 games in 2023. Research doesn't guarantee a perfect college experience, but it will increase the satisfaction you have by giving you an understanding of what you might face as you enter college. Point number 8 is how his favorite memories were off the baseball field. Shawn's favorite memories were, as he said, just the friendships I made. He mentioned things like going to the dining hall, going to dinner, having formals, and living in a dorm and a house with friends. Like I've said many times in past episodes, Parker and our family got to meet, eat with, and spend time with many great student-athletes and their families. Not only Parker's special recruiting class of 7 players, but all of his teammates. Parker and Shawn's recruiting class came from 7 different states. Parker lived and roomed with players from California, Massachusetts, Texas, Illinois, and Georgia. As a parent, I immediately cherish the opportunities that both of my sons' college experiences have brought Lori and I. I sometimes felt or feel more nervous for other players than I do for my own sons. Baseball and academics have taken Parker, Shawn, and Sutton and their teammates to many different cities and stadiums. But as Shawn stated, the dinners, the bus rides, and just being a college student will be what he talks about at reunions. Well, there are the 8 points taken from the interview with Shawn Goosenberg, an ex-college baseball player and a current professional baseball player. Point number 1, how Shawn used baseball to get a high-quality college education and experience. Point number 2, how he got coaches on his recruiting team and how they sent emails and videos to colleges. Point number 3, how his family didn't know when or how to start the recruiting process. Point number 4, how he asked coaches to come to watch him play. Point number 5, how time management was a key adjustment in college. Point number 6, his advice to be ready for the physical play of college sports. Point number 7 is to do research and see how you fit into the program as a freshman and throughout. And point number 8, how his favorite memories of college are not from the baseball field. If you have any questions or comments about this interview or about any recruiting questions, then email me, Brent, B-R-E-N-T, at recruit-me.com. At the end of the next several episodes, I'm going to give you a glimpse into the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic System Manual. The Recruit Me 3.0 system gives you a 200-plus page step-by-step manual, workbook, and worksheets that guide you through the recruiting process. I am the owner of Recruit Me, but John Fugler started Recruit Me back in 2022, and he wrote and developed the Recruit Me 3.0 system. You can get your own Recruit Me 3.0 system for only $39 by clicking the link in the show notes or going to recruit-me.com. Here is John's original introduction to the Recruit Me 3.0 manual. Introduction, Athletic Scholarships and You by John Fugler. With all the athletic scholarships handed out each year, how can my son or daughter get one? That's the question you might be asking. That's the question I asked several years ago when my twin sons were high school juniors, excelling in baseball. So I embarked on a journey to get an answer. I entered a world I knew nothing about, and I learned a lot along the way. In the end, both of my sons were able to receive a fully paid education at the school of their choice, but it did not happen the way we expected. There's a lot to watch out for, and you could end up spending a huge amount of money needlessly. In these pages, you'll get an education in the recruiting process, and you'll avoid the pitfalls that many parents and student athletes fall into. The manual is designed to be your textbook for the full step-by-step Recruit Me recruiting system, the only one of its kind. It's an invaluable resource that you should come back to often. Along with the other resources you have with the system, you'll have tools that you'll need to get the job done successfully. In addition, you'll hear from me along the way, and I expect to hear from you. Parents, You will learn to get your son or daughter recruited, and you will be able to take the steps to make it happen. Student athletes, you will follow the steps of the RecruitMe system. Less than a month from today, college coaches will begin contacting you. Recruiting will begin. You will save time, money, and energy by following the process that will guide you through. You could hire a service or a consultant, but in most cases there is no need to pay them thousands of dollars to get recruited. At a fraction of the cost, parents and athletes, you can do most everything these services do if you are willing to do the work. As a matter of fact, a friend reminded me the other day that even with recruiting services, you end up doing most of the work anyway. The RecruitMe system that I will teach you is simple, but not easy or trivial. You'll have work to do, but I don't believe in complex processes, and you certainly don't need one either. You just need the dedication and commitment to follow the simple steps that I teach you in this system. John Fugler, founder of RecruitMe. Thank you for listening to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest running recruiting education podcast. Listen every Tuesday by subscribing on your favorite podcast app or going to recruit-me.com. You can get all the past episodes on recruit-me.com also. Join me next week for a look into a free and fun recruiting resource app, Virtual Dugout. It is great for baseball research, but it has helpful resources for other sports recruiting too. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.